Some passengers aboard a WestJet flight to Nova Scotia from Cancun got a surprise when they opened their luggage. Items were moved or missing. There were some items in there that didn't even belong to them. Sandra Johnson was one of those passengers, and she joins us now from Mount Uniacke, Nova Scotia. Sandra, thanks for joining us. Take us back to that moment when you discovered something was wrong with your baggage. How could you tell?
Well, we were about to unpack our suitcases, and my husband opened up his, and there's a white purse sitting right on top. And he said, "This isn't your purse, is it?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, who does it belong to?" And I said, "I don't know." And then all of a sudden we realized, oh my gosh, they must have been going through our luggage, maybe 2 or 3 at the same time, and then just threw back in whoever's suitcase, whatever was there. So different people got different things thrown into their suitcase that weren't theirs.
That is weird. I've heard of, people noticing that somebody had opened their luggage. I've had the notices from like U.S. Customs or whatever saying they had searched it. I've never found somebody else's purse or any purse in my luggage. So you went to Facebook to try to return the items to the owner. And what happened then?
Yes, I went on Ask Nova Scotia and asked for people who was on my flight and said, okay, I have this purse. Does it belong to anybody? And all of a sudden I got all these pings of all these people that were on board saying, yeah, mine was gone through too, and all these people. And it's like, wow, like this is big. So anyway, I left my number, and the girl that owned it, she texted me, and she said, I don't happen to, I hope my Gucci purse is there. And I said, no, I'm sorry, but anything like that, it's gone. Like they're looking for items that are expensive they can resell. Yeah, 2 purses and all of her jewelry.
Oh my goodness. So you called, Halifax Airport to try to figure out what was going on?
Yes. So I asked them, I said, so how does this happen? Like, where does this happen? All this going through the luggage. And she said, well, any of the airports can go through luggage, whoever luggage they want, but they have to put a sticker on it when they do that. And I said, okay, well, ours certainly didn't have a sticker on it. And, and things are being stolen out of all these suitcases. Obviously, it's not a random search that they're, checking for drugs or whatever.
Yeah. So in a statement to CBC News, WestJet, which is the airline that you were on, said it received some reports from the flight it's working with, quote, internal and external partners, as well as impacted guests, end of quote. I think you're one of those impacted guests. What have you heard from WestJet?
Nothing. Not a thing.
I mean, I find that really puzzling. So when did you come back?
Sunday, April the 12th. We came back home that night.
Yeah, and they obviously know how to reach you. So nothing from WestJet. What would you like WestJet to do?
Well, they need to figure out why this is happening. Like, do we need more surveillance cameras in all baggage areas? That would be a start. I don't know if they have them or not, but all airports should have that. And then what's going on, and which airport it's happening in. We don't even know if it's here or if it's another country, or we just don't know.
Yeah. And so in your case, at least, you got an extra purse, which good for you, you returned, and nothing was missing in your luggage or your husband's luggage?
I was lucky. They didn't touch my suitcase. They must have just missed it. And I had expensive earrings in mine that I had hidden in my suitcase in case, but they did not touch mine. I was so lucky because my husband, well, he had nothing in there that anybody would want to steal, to sell. So, yeah. Anyway, I know now it won't be in my luggage now. It'll be on me when I go on the airplane.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to go. I've seen those services where you can wrap up your suitcase in plastic wrap, or some people have really elaborate locks. But the problem is that when the authorized people want to open up your luggage and check it, that becomes an obstacle for them. So you're right. I will also put my earrings in my carry-on. I think that's definitely the way to go. Sandra, listen, I'm sorry this happened to you. Good for you for going onto Facebook and returning the purse. And hopefully you'll hear from WestJet soon. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you for listening.